Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at something literally life-changing, the fundamental blueprint for a millionaire mindset. Now, what if I told you that, according to recent studies, the vast majority of millionaires, we're talking nearly 80% here, are entirely self-made? Seriously, 80%. That means the massive gap between the average person's financial reality and a self-made millionaire's wealth, well, it isn't actually about getting lucky. It's not about raw innate talent, and it is definitely not about your formal education. As we're going to see in the data we're unpacking today, that gap really just comes down to a very specific set of daily habits.
So, what makes a self-made millionaire? It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point, right? But the most striking realization here is that some of the absolute most successful people in the world started with, well, absolutely nothing. I mean, zero. They weren't handed a royal crown, they didn't hold a magical winning lottery ticket, they had no rich family to bail them out, no special connections, and absolutely no secret advantages hidden up their sleeves. And yet, somehow, they built this extraordinary wealth, while millions of others just kind of remain stuck in the exact same spot.
You see, society gets wealth building entirely wrong. People falsely believe it requires, a four-leaf clover, a magic wand, or a royal bloodline. We just naturally assume luck, rare talent, or powerful family connections are the only real tickets to the top. But the actual blueprint we're unpacking in today's explainer relies on something way less glamorous. It's daily habits and relentless consistency. Literally, this is what actually separates the highly successful from everyone else. They just do things differently on a day-to-day basis, and they commit to that mundane work that compounds massively over time.
All right, let's move into our first pillar here, mindset and continuous growth. Think about it. Every evening, there's a massive divergence. The average person sinks into the couch to binge-watch TV or mindlessly scroll on their phone, right? Just soaking up passive entertainment. But the millionaire, they use that exact same hour to read. They treat books like personal mentors. So while the rest of the world is consuming this fleeting entertainment, wealthy individuals are busy consuming information. Information that actively improves their future decision-making. For them, knowledge becomes their absolute greatest leverage.
And honestly, it's not just what you consume, it's who you consume it with. You've probably heard that old saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? Well, millionaires take this to heart, big time. They actively engineer their social circles to weed out negativity and really foster ambition. Because your environment heavily influences your mindset, your daily routines, and ultimately your entire future trajectory. They actively seek out growth-oriented people to learn from because they know for a fact that a toxic environment is a direct roadblock to success.
To wrap up this mindset section, we really have to look at this fundamental truth. The more you learn, the more you earn. It's simple, but incredibly powerful. In a world where artificial intelligence and technology are making old skills obsolete faster than ever, successful people stay fiercely curious. They understand that learning absolutely does not stop the day you graduate from school. If you want to keep earning in an ever-evolving landscape, your education has to be a lifelong, continuous process.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it shifts us to the second pillar, purpose and time protection. Think about the average morning. Most people wake up groggy. They're reacting to the day, just kind of wondering what they should do next. But millionaires, they wake up proactive. They already have a clear plan mapped out the night before, which allows them to hit the ground running. They focus instantly on their top priorities, ensuring that literally every single hour has a clear purpose that moves them closer to their goals. And because they wake up with such purpose, they fiercely protect their hours. Let's be real. Time is the absolute only asset you can never, ever get back. Once an hour is gone, it is gone forever. Period. That is exactly why wealthy individuals so fiercely guard their hours against time vampires. Things like endless scrolling, pointless internet arguments, and negative environments. They view every wasted hour not just as a lapse in productivity, but as a literal lost opportunity to build their future.
So, moving right along to the third pillar, building the wealth engine. Instead of chasing quick fixes, millionaires build this engine by mastering high-income skills. Look at how these break down. Sales and marketing? That directly drives your revenue. Exceptional communication and leadership, that allows you to scale your operations. Business strategy guides your long-term growth. And mastering technology and AI completely future-proofs your career. Investing in and mastering just one of these highly valuable skills creates leverage that can exponentially increase your earning power for decades to come.
So, the crucial point is this one simple, unavoidable truth. Income follows value. Period.
It completely changes how you approach your entire career. While the vast majority of people are out there constantly hunting for get-rich-quick hacks or shortcuts, the self-made millionaire is relentlessly asking, how can I become more valuable to the marketplace? If you increase the value you bring to the table through those high-income skills we just talked about, your income will naturally and inevitably follow.
And as that income grows, millionaires employ another absolutely vital strategy. They never ever depend on a single paycheck. A single point of failure is just way too risky, you know? If they lose that one job, they lose everything. So instead, they build these massive financial moats. They diversify through multiple income streams: businesses, investments, real estate, digital products, dividends, royalties. If one stream dries up, no problem. The others just keep on flowing. It's the ultimate golden rule of wealth protection.
This really highlights the stark contrast in financial habits between the average person and the self-made millionaire. The average mindset funnels money straight into a shopping cart, spending first and then just crossing their fingers and hoping to save whatever pennies are left over at the end of the month. But the millionaire, they plant a seed first. They invest immediately to grow their money tree, and they only spend the fruit it produces. Securing their future wealth is the absolute priority, which, when you think about it, makes the wealth-building choice seem incredibly logical and obvious.
I want to just pause here for a moment. Let's really let the gravity of this fundamental wealth-building truth fully sink in. Money sitting still loses value. Money invested has the potential to grow. It's that simple. Because of inflation, cash that's just sitting idle in a bank account is actively losing its purchasing power every single day. To a millionaire, money isn't just something you collect, it is a tool meant to be deployed. It needs to be put to work.
Which brings us right into our final pillar, the long-term formula. It's the profound difference between asking, how can I survive and just make money this month, versus how can I build wealth and an empire for the next 10 years? The average person is completely locked in this short-term survival mode, but the millionaire, they're laser-focused on long-term wealth generation. Sure, short-term thinking might create a quick, temporary win, but long-term thinking, that completely changes the entire trajectory of your life.
Now, of course, building wealth over a decade requires you to actually step out of your comfort zone. This is a habit that truly changes lives. Successful people understand that growth absolutely requires risk. But, and this is a massive but, there is a world of difference between taking a calculated risk and just blind gambling. Calculated risk isn't about jumping out of an airplane and hoping you figure out how to build a parachute on the way down, right? No, it's about packing that parachute meticulously before you ever step foot on the plane. It's about taking forward action only after thorough preparation, minimizing the downside while maximizing the potential upside.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how they actually do it. It's so methodical. Step 1, calculate the downside. Step 2, research every single variable. Step 3, prepare for the absolute worst. And step 4, act, execute. While the masses are standing around paralyzed, endlessly waiting for some perfect moment that doesn't actually exist, the millionaire is systematically moving up the stairs. They trust their preparation and they take decisive forward action.
Listen, it all starts with the number one. You don't need some massive, total life overhaul overnight. You just need to improve one habit, make one solid decision, and commit to 1 year of absolute consistency. The massive power of compounding means that refining just one small part of your daily routine can yield absolutely life-changing results over a relatively short period of time. Just one.
Which really brings us back to the core thesis of our explainer today. Becoming wealthy doesn't require perfection. Millionaires aren't these flawless people who never make mistakes. The secret isn't perfection at all. It is literally simply this: small, boring habits, repeated daily, create massive results over time. They simply execute the right actions. Investing first, guarding their time, continuously learning. They do this consistently, almost on autopilot. So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Imagine two people starting from the exact same place today. One continues living entirely on autopilot, and the other applies these habits every single day. Where will you be in 5 years? Because remember, your future success is already hidden right inside your daily habits today.